Hello.
何？
Hello.
Okay, maybe I need to grab a Pepsi. Maybe I need to grab a Pepsi to wake myself up because I had decent amount of food yesterday during trivia and I didn't want to as tempting as it would be to, break diet and get a baconator from Hungry Jack's, I feel like that wouldn't be conducive to, having R and then the number. Oh, Rule 34. I see what you're going with. Hmm. Baconator sounds awesome. Yeah, there apparently that's now a thing at Hungry Jack's this some time of the year. So also, which reminds me, words on stream. Let me get the words on stream up and running and we'll see how everyone does cuz there's like 2 of you in the chat right now. There might be more. I'm very tempted to see how successful this one goes. So, let's see. Zoom. There we go. Alrighty then. Right before I start eating. Really? Telling you about the Baconator from Hungry Jack's? Absolutely. One moment as I now start the words on stream thingy-madiggy. And you have to deal with that. Seef! Mmm. We're getting some good words here. Yeah, refuse. That's a good one. All right. Use, reuse. These are good. These are good. Oh, I just realized I can put you here. There we go. Ah. God damn. Like, there's so many, like, vowels. So it's, like, kind of tricky to come up with, like, a good one. All right, so we got fees, freeze, furs, fuse, reef. Ruse. Oh, there's a lot of words between reef and ruse, it seems. Okay. That makes this a little bit trickier. All right, let's see. How did everyone go? Artemis getting the 34 ranking, getting number 1. Love it to see it. Excellent work. Excellent work. 10 Mugs getting to 23. Sir Dragon with 7, and then I had my random word there. All right. Next word. Well, I have another sippies of my Pepsi Max. I see man, but they don't let you have 3-letter words. Ooh. I almost thought rename could have done it, but... a 6-letter word with ramen. I love how Sir Dragon and Tanmux are both hitting ramen, thinking that's the 5-letter... Damn, I thought reman would be word. I'm disappointed. It would have been good if it was, but it wasn't. For whatever reason, they didn't want reman. So what would the 6-letter word be? That's the crazy thing. Like, what would the 6-letter? Because like they had like, oh, manner. I feel like that should have manner. Like, manner is not a word. Like, manners is a word. I don't know about manner. I feel bamboozled. But yeah, this was a proper tricky one. So a 5-letter. I'm gonna be annoyed if the double E. Nah, okay. Nanner. Earn. Ah, too late. All right. Well, we got 2 levels through, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm gonna head over to the chatting thingy-madiggy because I can be over here. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's Hump Day. We're heading to the middle of the week now. Should be good. I hope everyone is having a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. So, Tuesday was... So yeah, I was bullied the other day. Don't worry, there's a funny story. Don't worry, there's a funny story to this, alright? Because, like, if the internet ever tells you there's a misinformation on the internet that bullying gets you results. Now, normally, however, you don't get to pick those results, so be very mindful when you bully people, because you might not get the results that you're asking. Any whoosies. I was bullied, lightly bullied, where I am going to TFF next week. I am going to be flying out in... 5 days. In about 5 days, I'm going to be flying out to Texas, Dallas or Dallas, Texas, sorry. I'm going to be flying out to Dallas, Texas in about 5 days, so then that way I can attend next week's Texas Furry Fiesta. Now, I was going to go into this thing thinking into a fashion of like, oh yeah, this is going to be real fun. We're going to be, you know, having a bit of a casual like holiday experience while going to a furry convention. It's going to be great because I'm going to be going to the United States where I'm now going to be joining up in that country, and the group I'm with, I'm going to have an average like age demographic that isn't going above the age of 50. It will be fantastic. That was all done by thanks to Unnamed, the silly little blue yeen. And they were like, Grant, I can't wait to get stickers from you. And I'm like, what? What stickers? And they were like, don't you have stickers for when we're going to this furry fandom? Don't you have a business card to get? And I'm like, why the fuck would I have a business card? And they're like, because you're gonna be networking when you're going to the furry fandom. That's the whole point for the furries getting together as furries, is to not to make friends, but to make connections, to do networking. As a content creator, you should have a business card and stickers. And lo and behold, I was just like, I don't need fucking stickers or business cards. No, it turns out I did. Turns out I needed to get business cards and stickers because it's stuck in my head. It's stuck in my head Monday after streaming. And you know what? Tuesday happened. Tuesday I was working from home again. And I was like, you know what? What's the word? How hard can it be to get them? Hi, Tanmux. Oh, sorry, not Tanmux. Hi there, Sir Dragon. Hello there. How hard can it be to get stickers and business cards? Now, I thought stickers was gonna be the easier thing. I mean, like, you just get yourself a blah 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 blah. You just get yourself a PNG. You go to a printing shop and you go, here, I want this on a sticker. Apparently, not that easy. Because you're going to have to wait at least 5 days more often than not, and the printing shop is going to be like, hi, that is not an appropriate image. You need to give it to us as a PDF. Where's the dye line? Where's the bleed cut? Where's the trim line? You need to have this in magenta. It's like, it's all this, it's a pain and a half to do, and even if you, like, you know, try and go through all that nonsense, in Australia, it's like, thank you for your design. In order for us to print 100 stickers, it will cost you approximately $380 to print these stickers. What? Why is it so hard? Meanwhile, business cards, the thing that I thought was going to be a little bit extra pedantic because of design and shit like that, turns out not a problem at all. You go to Officeworks, because Officeworks, there's some places that will even do same-day printing, and they're like, You know what? Cool. Sounds great. All right, Grant, I need you to go to this website. It's Canva. Here's the page for the front. Do you want to have a back design that's going to be different? Cool, let's do that. Next thing you know, in about 30 minutes, I have now picked out a design and customized it for my business card where I have himbo written on the front in bright Twitch font. And they're like, hi, excellent job, good sir. That will be $40 for 250 copies of a business card with 2 different designs on them. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And I got all of them in the day. I gave one to my girlfriend Artemis so she could have a look. Actually, I have it in my wallet. Hang on a second. One moment. I'm getting my business card. Like, I have like 200 of these. I have like over 200 business cards. I have it in mine too. Yeah, exactly. Artemis, my girlfriend, she has it. All right, so like I got myself a business card. I can probably get like let me find out where the cuz like it's just a cool card. It, like on the front side, it just has the Twitch purple, and it has in like the Twitch font himbo. So like the thing that you normally see here. So just imagine this shirt as a business card. It's fantastic. Back over to the Gears of War, and then on the reverse side, it just has like, you know, GrantZeebs, variety streamer, himbo zebra, autistic, and then it just has a QR code and like a little silly me with my hand waving and such like that. So I got myself a business card. It's fantastic. And I can't believe that this thing, the business card, I thought was going to be the most difficult thing to do because of like design nonsense and such. Turns out Officeworks just has it, you know, you can easily get this done for like $50, and you get yourself like hundreds of copies of this business card, and you just like, you know, create your design however you want on Canva. Like, it's just that simple. Meanwhile, trying to get a sticker done has been painful as fuck. Now, lo and behold, however, I had figured out, rather than trying to find myself a, you know, a company or a shop here in Australia or here in Brisbane for me to print the stickers out and such like that to take with me to the States, I was thinking about this all wrong. What I should have been doing was looking for American companies to do the stickers and what have you. So then that way, I didn't need to carry the stickers through customs or anything like that. Instead, I would land in Dallas, go to whatever fucking shop I needed to, and pick up the stickers there. That way, I have more than a couple days to get the stickers done. Turns out, when you have that kind of like, you know, mindset, you find your, like, I realized that like, so one of the peeps that you can go, like, if I didn't have a rush, I would have gone for something like Sticker Chicken. Yes, this is a real printing company. There is a website called Sticker Chicken where if you wanted to like print out like custom, should have a look at circuit for future sticker creation. Future sticker creation is gonna be done over at Sticker Chicken. Like, this fucking furry like website is just, you know, premium vinyl nonsense with like they do their printing in Melbourne or something like that, and I'm familiar with like the artist and such, and they do like sticker sheets, custom die cuts, and yada yada yada. So that's the one for Australia. Now I decided to do a little bit of Googling, and I remembered, you know, if there was like one of these in Australia, there's bound to be one of them in the United States. So I just put into Google free sticker pickup at Texas Furry Fiesta, and lo and behold, DuckDuckGo, like it came up with a CryCut. They're fun. CryCut? Hang on. Who in the world is CryCut? Let me open up my Opera GX real quick, so then that way all of yous can see the whatsamahoozies. Prepare to get doxxed as I now type in CryCut and see, like, you know, some CryCut, a smart cutting machine for. Okay, so it's not so CryCut isn't a CryCut isn't a store. It's a fucking The mischief shall spread. So really, like, so Crycut is, I want to make my own stickers. Is that it? See what's possible with Crycut. Babe, bride, and like little thingamadiggy. So you got Circuit Joy Extra, our fits in any space smart cutting machine for popular projects like full color stickers, custom cards, t-shirts, and more. Circuit Explore 5, smart cutting machine for making popular projects like vinyl decals, stickers, cards, and t-shirts. See, I wanted like, okay, so could you do like vinyl? Could you do like vinyl stickers? Hang on a second. Let me have a look at this. Let's have a... So you can do customizable blanks, pens and markers, cutting machines. So we got... Like, so if I wanted to do stickers... So you can do like... Can you do like proper thick... Oh! Printable, waterproof, holographic sticker set A4 size. Okay. Okay. So you got holographic, you got white, you got smart paper? What in the what? All right, and so it's like 5 count, and then that's a... And this is printable waterproof. Find a distributor. Yeah, the distributor in Australia. So you can get them from like Big W, Joyce Main, Officeworks. Okay, how much am I spending at Officeworks to get myself my own printer? Crycut, introducing Crycut Explore 5 and Joy 2. Oh, that's a tiny little fucker. I don't care about a tiny little fucker. I want a big boy. Give me the big boy. Okay, so the ultimate cutting machine is the Crycut Maker 3. And you can do hat presses and mug. Oh, I like the idea of the mug, to be real. Then we have the Joy 5. Okay, so... Design, cut, admire. So you got the basic tools for 29 bucks. You got a cutting mat. All right, so if I wanted the Maker 3... $500 to get my own printer? What the shit? Also, what the fuck is that for? What's this hole for? Spotlight during the mid-year sale is better? Ah, for EFS. I'm pretty sure no one in chat is gonna outside of Australia is gonna understand what the fuck EFS is, and it's probably having a very difficult time for anyone with closed captions. But basically, EFS is the end of financial year because Australia celebrates the end of financial year not on December 31st and moving on into January 1st, but instead celebrates it June 30th and converting over to July 1st. For whatever reason, Australia does their end of financial year in the middle of the year. We celebrate everything? No. No. You do not celebrate everything. Australia doesn't celebrate everything. What's more is that you're having even fewer things celebrated. You don't celebrate Thanksgiving, you barely celebrate Halloween, and we're right now going through the fun little premise of, oh, what if we don't celebrate Australia Day? And I feel like the only reason that has not gone away is because it's a bank holiday, and no one wants to be the fucker saying to Congress or whatever the parliaments, going to parliaments and saying, hey, because of all these people not liking Invasion Day, aka Australia Day, aka, you know, Captain Cook and all that kind of nonsense, we should probably rescind the bank holiday from January 25th until we decide on January 26th, until we decide on a better day to, you know, celebrate Australia Day, because Australia only became a federation in January 1st, 1901, because for whatever reason, Australia, when founding their, you know, their government and shit like that, didn't decide to go for like a, you know, fuck you to the British, we're gonna start our own thing, July 1st or anything like that. They instead were like, excuse me, monarchy, we like our own freedom, and we have all these signatures thanks to all of our friends. Can we have a government of our own? And the queen or what have you was just like, perhaps we can get started on that January 1st. And the Australian government was like, that sounds wonderful. We'll see you in 8 months. Or some bullshit. All right. That was my voice for like the early Australians, although it doesn't sound nearly as good, I'm sorry to say. All right, so the next time I feel like, you know, maybe being extra creative or something like that, maybe I'll get myself a cutting machine or something bullshit like that. We just go for the Circuit Explorer 5 Essentials bundle. Like, holy shit, you get yourself in taupe, a fine point cutting tool, scrapers, weeders, and spatulas, a double-sided marker. Goodness gracious. You can do all kinds of cool things. Design, cut, assemble, ta-da! Honestly, some of these are cool. I rate it. Some of these are cool. I'm just, you know, I'm just not a clever Zeebs for that stuff. There are other brands. You just know Crycut. Noted. Awesome. I know none. I now know one more brand because someone decided to share it with me. But yeah, so back to my story before I go on to a random rant. Back to my story. So after Googling, like, you know, free sticker pickup at Texas Furry Fiesta, I finally found a whatsamahoozy. I found myself a sticker. Ow! Oz! Why'd you kill me? Before TFF? You killed me! Just giving a little Dutch vibe. Hi there, Oz. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you had a wonderful time in Fatal Frame. Anywhoosies, so, rather than going to Sticker Chicken and worrying that they won't be able to get my sticker done and deliver it to me before I leave for Texas Furry Fiesta, I decided to look for an American brand that will do the stickers, and I can just pick them up at TFF. Turns out, there is one. It's called Bear and Beagle. Honestly, sometimes, like, the branding is just really fucking spot on. It is really, really fucking simple to do, it's real simple to come up with furry names. You just add animals and you've got it. I hope you have a lot of fun at TFF. I certainly hope so too, Ozlupo. I have been roped into this thing because of a crazy hyena and 17 other friends, and some of them were a little bit worried they might not be able to attend, which was really funny to hear because I have to spend like $3,000 to travel to this thing, and to hear some Americans going, ooh, you know, I don't know if I can afford going this year. I might have to spend $100 on travel, and I'm just sort of like, I'm traveling internationally. That is small potatoes. I have to spend $100 just to take a crap going internationally. I'm spending $100 just to get my driver's license turned into the international thingy-madiggy, because apparently Australia public transport is so much better than American public transport. So yeah. But yeah, I did an order through Bear and Beagle. I'll be real with you, when I first looked at this, I would be like eye-twitching. I will drag you out of your house. Yep. Like, this is the thing, is that it's just like me, like any Australian deciding to like go out of Australia, we're spending $100 just to get to the airport. Schwatch. Hi there, Capricious. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing all right. Hi there, Ruby. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, so I like a lot of money has been spent on me going to Texas Furry Fiesta, and there's like 5 days to go. Cookie for Vol. Here's your cookie, Vol. There's a couple days to go before I actually leave to go to Dallas, and there's just these last minute things such as printing a business card. I raise up to the screen as if somehow you're going to see me holding this business card. Just imagine what I'm spending from Perth. Oh. Ah. Ah. Wait a minute, isn't Perth like trying to become their own country or something like that? Isn't there like I don't know if this is a TikTok joke because it came from like a news account, but isn't there like Western Australia is trying to be like, we want to secede from the national government and we wish to create our own country? My condolences to your bank account anytime you want to travel from Perth. It is quicker to travel from Brisbane to New Zealand than it is to Perth, I'm pretty sure. We're closer to, like, Malaysia, aren't we, than Perth? Just imagine what I'm spending by not going at all. Fair enough. Chat, go support Cap. She an amazing artist. She doing some amazing arts. Hi there, Izzy. I'm sorry, Grant, but I don't trust anything you read. Look, considering the amount of information I got in, like, the last 24 hours can be very, very questionable, because it can go from small things such as old Bale Eye is back in Warhammer 40k to Western Australia wants to secede. No, we actually voted to leave Australia, but we weren't allowed to. Did Anthony, wait, not Anthony Albanese. Wait, yes it is Anthony Albanese. He's the prime minister. Anthony Albanese. He looked at Western Australia and just went, "I hear the voices, but no. We need to stay together. You need to help us with the housing crisis." I'm pretty sure Bale Eye is back. Excellent. Awesome. Okay, so I'm not imagining it. Izzy, you can fact check me on this one. I'm pretty sure Warhammer 40k is doing the is bringing back Bale Eye. Hang on a second. For those of you that are not familiar, in 1933 we had 66% in favor of leaving Australia. Oh no, I thought this was like modern. Hang on a second. Western Australia vote to leave. I'm pretty sure this is like recent. I swear this was like a recent thing. Like within the last like little bit. No, it was someone authored something. Someone authored in 2026 something. Leaving the country. Hang on a second. Okay, is this it? Authors of a new book argue EU succession could be a blueprint for Eastern states, but the government says it would leave WA with a weaker economy. What's this? Westralia should be free, or so Western Australia voted in rather. Almost a century later, supporters of the independence movement remain in far smaller numbers, yet bolstered according to the author of a new book by the Collateral Harms. One of the authors, Secession by Western Australia. Is this it? Secession, there is no Commonwealth divided to the people under... Okay, is it... How long ago was this? Okay, 13th of March, 2026. So someone's written a book. Cool. All right, so someone's written a book. That's entirely different from having a vote. Good to know. State successionism is one of those things Maniacs thinks is really easy, like Texas. We can vote for the Waxit. That's a... We can vote for the Waxit. Did you come up with that by like on your own right at the get-go there? You heard Brexit in your brain and you were just like, Waxit. It's brilliant. Same vibe as Scotland not being allowed to leave the UK. Yeah, that was also a thing. Oh, that reminds me. I need a... Where is it? Where is it? All right, Sebastian Yarrick return. Where is it? Here we go. Is this gonna work? Hopefully this works. Ding.
Grab onto your...
Nope. Give me the official. Where the fuck is the official? Bolters and the chain swords. Please give me sauce. I don't want to go through like secondhand thingy-majiggy. Just get me to the... Here we go. Return to Armageddon. Here we go. This is what I got.
Are we ready?
So this was like what's Mahuzi sent, like shared on the TikToks and what have you For those of you that are wondering as well, let me just
People of Armageddon.
ding dong.
Soldiers of the Imperial Guard.
It's like 2.5 minutes.
For
It's
decades.
totally fine.
we
I
have
will get.
defended this
I will
world.
probably get like copyright
Some of you
restriction
were
back
born
on
here,
YouTube when
and
this
now only
VOD goes
war.
over there. Also,
Some
hi
of
there,
you have grown
YouTubers. You're
old
probably not
on
hearing
these
any of
battlefields.
this because the
Some of
copyright
you were
infringement
brought
code on
from
YouTube is a lot
off-world.
stronger because YouTube
Shipped
decided to
here
get
to
ahead of the
die.
whole problem by creating content ID. And really,
I
all
thank
more
every
websites
one
are
of
going to
you.
have to start dealing with that nonsense if they
But
want to
look
keep
at what's
making money
become
with their
of our
people
world.
rather than going
Graveyards
underground. But
that reach from horizon to horizon. Cities cloaked in ash and dust. All in
Lay in ruin.
Texas loves to come crawling
next
back
wave
on
of
its
green
knees,
skins
begging
will
hat in
reach our
hand.
world.
Crash our economy again. As it turns out, you need to like make things. Not only that, Izzy. Not only that, Izzy, but Texas is one of those people where I think unnamed Yeen or any of the other Texans that might know who I am, they can, or who are watching my stream right now, can probably do a better job in explaining it. But I'm pretty sure that like Texas is actually grabbing more from the federal government than they're giving the federal government. There are some states that operate on a bit of a surplus as far as I know. I think California is one of them, where California's like tax code and all that kind of nonsense, state and federal, means that there's more money going into the government than there is being taken from the government through support and utilities and all that kind of nonsense. Also, hi there, Calbar. Welcome to the stream. We're just having a little quick check on, this trailer here, just to double check and confirm that I'm not, I'm not doing a what's-a-mahoozy. I'm not having a misinformation of Sebastian Yarrick, aka Old Bale Eye, coming back to Warhammer 40k. Texas mentioned. Yes, Texas was
The
mentioned.
mud of a world that was lost long ago.
Man, this guy is all doom and gloom. Although I have no fucking context to, like, Armageddon, besides the fact the orcs keep fighting there.
Flee. All of you.
flee. Make for the evacuation transports.
Also, this is like this is, I know this is like,
Run for your
Warhammer. This is like Warhammer 40k, but anytime we're not in the Situation Room, it just looks like we're going through like the 100-year continuation of the First World War because of all of the fucking Death Guard. Hopefully that is who they are, the Death Guard.
There will be no evacuation.
There will be no cowardice. There will be no defeat. This is our city.
Is it no? It's Kriegs. The Kriegs, aren't they?
World.
The guys with the gas masks and looking like they belong in German trenches in World War One. Hell yeah. He looks cool. I know very little about Warhammer 40k other than the fact that orcs, for whatever reason, love Sebastian Yarrick, and that, apparently he lost his arm, and then, like, he took it off of some other orc and, got the power claw, like, fused onto his thing, and, like, the what's-mahoozy orcs were like, oh yeah, his eye shoots a laser, in which case Yarrick is just like, fuck it, let's make my eye looking red, and so sometimes it might do that. And apparently, like, whoever is, like, the leader of the WOG that was over on Armageddon and shit like that captured Yarrick and a whole group of people, and then, lo and behold, he let him go, and he spoke to him in, like, high Gothic or some nonsense. So, like, imagining, like, the most bogan Imagine someone like Bob Catter swapping accents real quickly to sound Old English and going, good fight, good enemies are hard to find. Like, that's how it was explained to me, why Sebastian Yarrick is, like, such a crazy fucking, like, character to have in the whole Warhammer 40k anytime you talk about orcs and shit. No, they're Armageddonites. No Steel Legion in a Steel Legion battlefield. Easy mistake to make. All Krieg and Cadians. Death Corps of Krieg, I think it's called. No wonder Armageddon's falling. The orcs love Yarrick because he's that much of a badass. There are some things in that are 40k-esque at times. Could be, yeah. So yeah, so I now got myself business cards. I now got myself stickers for when I go to Texas Furry Fiesta. So slowly but surely, chat, I am going to get myself, like, I'm gonna get myself all prepped and ready for going to Texas in 5. I'm going to Texas in 5 days. I'll have the business cards with me the entire the entire week I'm there. The stickers I will be picking up come next Thursday because I'm getting them from whatsamahoozy, from Bears and Beagles. They're doing like a printing thing. Like for whatever reason, they made it so fucking easy. I uploaded my PNGs to their website. It cost me $90 to get 150 stickers. I get a direct message from them on Telegram within the hour going, "Hi there, I got your order. Let me know if there's any issues when I tell you of these edits that I need to make to your image." And within the day that we've like established the design so it can be printed, and not only do I have 150 stickers of like the 2 designs I wanted, but I'm getting mini stickers. So these are like an inch and a quarter or something like that. Ah, heck yeah, Bear and Beagles is great. Excellent. All right. Let me go get the, let's go get the whatsamahoozy game up and running. The blah 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 blah. The whatsamahoozy, Gears of War. Here we go. Oh, come on. Why is my... Did this thing run out of battery? No. Yes? No? Also, why is the game not presenting? Source, PC cap. There we go. Alrighty. I don't think the Imperium is specifically obsessed with Promethium. The fuck is Promethium? Wait, the rotting infrastructure and the religious fundamentalism center around getting yourself killed in distant foreign lands. Oh yeah, and the obsession with oil. Well, that can be very much just Helldivers. I must make sure we swap stickers at TFF, Grant. Excellent, Calbar. Glad to... We'll try and hold some spare. That's the fun of... You can always make your homebrew comically much worse. Yeah. Isn't that why there's, like, you know, the 2nd and, like, 13th Legion or something like that, like, gone? Is because back in the day when they had the Space Marines on the tabletop, each of them had, like, very specific, like, you know, abilities in their chapters and such. But then someone was like, "Oh, here's the 2nd Legion on the good side where you can homebrew the abilities available to you in that chapter, and then here's a Chaos equivalent on their side so you can homebrew the abilities you want there." But then as, like, you know, the editions of Warhammer 40k were updated, they then removed the custom Legion, both Loyalist and Traitor chapters, and made it so it's like, oh, apparently these 2 chapters did something so horrendous, so unspeakable, that their involvement was washed away, and Psychers mind-blasted people out from remembering them entirely, and the only people who could possibly know about them is the Emperor and Malachar, but Malakar's dead now, so really no one knows about them. They just won't roll to other stuff. Always thought Promethium as super oil, which with all these groups. Okay.
Hey, they just straight feeding them heads.
All right.
How do these things breathe?
Alrighty. So we're on like what might be the last act, and I'm just trying to like we're just trying to make our way through this now. Let's go upper path.
Judging from the outside, I think this place goes down 3 levels. Dom, you and Baird take the right. Cole and I got the left. Let's see if we can find a way down to the Queen's chamber.
Okay, so this is why there was like a lot of like branching paths in the first game. that, because someone mentioned the first game didn't have this before, like the whole branching paths thing.
Our guys below.
There we go. Armageddon has the Steel Legion regiments, homegrown Orc haters several generations going, but the Cadians are in the fight now, so that's not a great sign of how things are going. Well, the Cadians don't have anywhere else to go. I mean, like, where the fuck were they gonna go? Back to Cadia?
Our enemies threaten the sanctity of the palace. Destroy them!
Down in front. Good job, Delta. Let's keep moving down.
Sorry, let me just pick up my fucking massive turret. Thank you for the random shirt, Sir Dragon. I was liking the, Hang on a second, where's Dawn? Oh my god, you're dragging yourself so much.
Get up.
Here we go. Yeah, we're going with Metal Gear Solid. And once again, the hand tracking doesn't work really well with,
Damn!
blah, blah, blah.
That's a lot of juice.
Okay.
Oh man, don't start with that juice shit again.
Water shall meet fire, and our enemies will meet their doom.
Oh, wait, hang on. Where are we? This way?
Chipper, ain't she?
Yeah, we're going this way. And down we go. So we're going down to the first level.
Behind the columns. Oh my god.
If they didn't.
We should be about halfway to the bottom, right?
Think so. Just keep hustling.
Just absolutely gibbing them. Those were Kriegers. Wait, what were Kriegers? Also, come on, Hands, you can do this.
Scratch one rub.
Come on. Oh, the gas mask guards from the trailers. Yeah, they were Kriegers. I recognize some of the Warhammer peeps. I'm not great at it, okay? As Izzy can attest to it, I have a bit of misinformation on my head.
Come get me! Come on!
Yeah, get fucked. Although I'm kind of surprised that guy was in my I was kind of surprised that guy was in my what's-a-mahoozy. Steel Legionaries also have a similar getup with their own
Check
gas
this out.
masks. Ah,
Looks
okay,
like what
okay.
the Queen keeps yapping about.
So we know they're trying to sink Jacinto, but it sounds like it'll flood the Hollow. Why would they do that?
They're desperate. All this time, we never realized that. Jack, plug in and see what you can find.
Allow the Lamberts to pollute the surface. We bury their infection here.
The lambent.
The world is rightfully ours.
Delta Squad is in your house, bitch! You hear that shit? Them grubby ass bitches are going down! Like way down! Dead down! So down you ain't gonna even know which way is up! Your ass is gonna be crying to your skink ass queen! Oh, mommy, you let the bad man hurt us! Fuck you! We gonna whoop your mama's ass! Whoa!
There we
Cool.
go. One muzzled queen. Not you, her. You were great. I loved your speech there, especially with the bitch-ass stuff. Very good, very enlightening.
Cole just having no chill. But hey, you know, he's 100% energy, so...
Now that is what we
You
call
go suck a lemon,
skill
Blue.
issue.
Also, hi, Blue. Welcome, welcome. Blue, 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 Blue. Guess what, Blue? Also, hi there, Masonic. I have business cards.
What if we held hands as a treat?
No, we're not gonna be holding hands. But yeah, I have business cards now. So, yay. I'm gonna be handing these around to like peeps when I'm over in Dallas and such if I bump into any like furries and shit. Business cards. I should really like get a I should copy and paste like, you know, the images and what have you, so then that way people can see what the images. Actually, give me a second. That's what I'm going to do right now. Give me a minute as I go and find the business. Okay, that's a picture of Cap showing off her wife some ass. That's not what I want. What I want is this. All right. Download that image and then business card. And then I need to open up my folder. And then I need to ding, and then we need to edit it. Open. Looks at that particular American Psycho scene involving business cards. New card. What do you think? I don't think it's going to be like that in the furry fandom. It's going to be like new sticker. What do you think? That's going to be how everyone, like, you know, does the thingy-madiggy. All right. So, is there any inconvenient information on this one? No, there isn't. So I will save this. There we go. I'll grab this, change this to that. And behold, my business card. You can scan the QR code, chat, if you want. Let me just zoom in real quick if you want. Like, look at him. Look at this silly little guy. Isn't he silly? Look at him. So good. So yeah, he's just a silly little guy, just giving a little wave, just going hello. And then this is the front of the business card right here. Is it just being himbo in, like, you know, really bold old Twitch-like letters. It's fantastic. So yeah. So yeah, that's my business card for when I go off to Texas Furry Fiesta. Why are you getting solicited, Blue? Is it because of me having my business cards about? GrantZeebs professional himbo? Yes. Jim's mowing logo on your... You know what? I reckon there's an Australian out there who has tried to do like a Jim's mowing, but for like fursona, like icons. So you'll have like Jim's like furry, Jim's scaly, Jim's owl, Jim's dog, Jim's bird, Jim's horse. I reckon someone may have already have done that. You don't know Jim's mowing? You don't know Jim's mowing? Oh my goodness. Hang on a second, chat. Let me open up Opera GX again so we can demonstrate to this American what the fuck Jim's mowing is. Give me a second. Jim's mowing. If it will... What the hell? Oh my god. Does my keyboard run out of battery again? Hang on. Jim's mowing. Yes, it ran out of battery. All right. Ding. Dong. This is Jim's mowing. This is Jim's mowing. Now, here's the amazing thing, is that Jim's mowing isn't just mowing. He does other things. He's a legitimate dude as well. Like, look at him. And then, apparently that's him now. I don't know if that's actually him now, but yeah, it's been a while. Now, it's done by Jin Penmen, who is the CEO, and it's like there's a GrantZeebs group. Now, GrantZeebs mowing is all about lawn care and such, but they have done other things, I'm fairly sure. Let me find it. So, GrantZeebs group. What? Like, here we go. Need it done, Jim's the one. Like, so here we go. So these are some of the services that he does. He does dog wash, tree and stump removal, fencing, cleaning, blind cleaning and repairs, handyman, car detailing, antenna, glass, bookkeeping, roofing, IT, electrical. He does everything. Jim does everything. I honestly was not aware that Jim did IT or the fact that Jim does driving school. Jim's life coach. That's incredible. Like, there's so many Jims. Jim's flooring. Wait, Jim's property management? So yeah, like, and it's all the same fucking design as well. It's just Jim's face and then whatever other kind of icon. It's fantastic. Also, hi there, Het. Welcome, welcome. So yeah. Let's see. Can we find something like furry related? Jim's uniform. Like this is incredible. Jim's digger, Jim's removals, Jim's skip bin, Jim's test and tag, Jim's termite and pest control. Jim can do anything. Jim can mow your lawn. Jim can help with your taxes. Jim can put new glass into your window. Jim could save your marriage. I don't know if Jim can save your marriage, but it's possible. It very much is possible. You never know. You never know. So, yeah. Donk. I have several friends who could use a himbo business card. Nice. Icarus looking to become an even more swole boy, talking about gyms. Can Jim see when he is cheated?
Marcus, is that who I think it is?
I think so.
If we were to sink Jacinto, we would flood the hollow with seawater. Nothing below would survive. We could end the war today. If we sacrifice our last possible refuge.
That is a terrible idea.
Adam Phoenix.
It's my father.
What? But
Damn.
what's he doing in the Locust computers?
We'll figure that out later. Look, my father and the Locust Queen are saying the same thing. It's just a matter of timing. We need to sink Jacinto before the Locust leave, not after.
Can we even do that?
Marcus, I know it's your dad and all, but listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Consider it a backup plan if we can't get to the Queen. See if you can send the data.
Amazon has nothing on him.
Another way to put the Locust down for good.
It would honestly be crazy if Amazon tried doing like half of Jim's stuff in Australia. The naming convention alone is gonna keep Australians going to Jim before anyone else.
I'll take that.
Hell yeah.
Yo, baby, I'm home. You hear that?
Jim's not perfect, okay? He's not perfect, alright? He's just a caricature, okay? Like Mr. Peanut. We don't blame Mr. Peanut for anything.
Knock it off. If the Locust Queen's down here, then we're gonna have enough problems as it is. We need to be careful and quiet.
Oh, man, come on. How could I resist that?
Same team, split up.
Oh, I didn't want to drop my gun. Alright, cool. I still have my gun. They just do a weird cutscene thing where they get rid of his gun.
Behind the wall!
We can use some cover over here!
Let's get him some support over there!
I don't have a shot!
Don't mind me. Just lugging around a chainsaw, chain gun.
Take it!
Oh, that guy was an idiot.
I need ammo.
There we go.
Nice!
Oh, shit. Oh, wait, hang on. What am I thinking? I can do this. Yeah! Alright, let me crush you. Let me crush you! Yeah! Jim himself is mostly disconnected from all those businesses, using the success of one business to build another and so on. Yeah, like, economically speaking, Jim did mowing, and now he doesn't. So, but he gets other people to do his stuff. There we go. Oh, cool. Didn't realize that was a thing they would do.
Hello.
Hello, Jack. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing all right.
Nani?
What have I missed? So we've learned that the locusts are trying to like drop Jacinto in this area, but they're gonna do an evacuation before they drop Jacinto. Marcus's Phoenix's father, who is Adam Phoenix, has the same idea of dropping Jacinto and using the salt water from the area to, like, you know, flood the locust stronghold and kill all the locusts there, because apparently they can't swim or something like that, or it does something fucked up to their economy. But that does mean that if Jacinto falls, then humanity's like last like stronghold refuge is gone. And we're just like got tiny cities and what have you, or towns.
Okay, this is it.
Bottom floor, sporting goods, lingerie, and one bitch-ass queen.
Whoa! That ain't the way!
Oh, great! That thing just had to open up, didn't it?
There's gotta be a way across!
So yeah. Damn it. Sounds like Bear just did something big. Maybe. Alrighty. There's the lever. That might be ours. Any sad moments? Dom's wife is dead. That happened. But when it happened, I feel like they used the inappropriate music for it because they were using trumpets and it was in a major key. So it ended up just sounding like real hopeful, the final like calm before the charge kind of thing, instead of it being this is a very sad moment, Dom's wife is possibly dead and love is dead kind of thing. They like, yeah.
destructive!
Nope. Alrighty. Oh, cool. The lever was...
Multiple contacts!
Oh wait, what am I thinking? Let me grenade this nonsense. And I overcorrected then.
Back in your hole!
Let's do
But yeah, how's your evening going, Jack? Hope to see you at TFF. All good, Caliber. Have a good sleep.
Armed and ready.
All right, pick up the ammunition.
I'll take that.
Nope. There we go. Alright. Nyom. Alright, no grenades to throw. Had overtime at work, so still driving home, and you're just stopping at a gas station for a moment.
Let's hope
Fair
she's
enough.
home. Could be a trap. Stay alert.
Oh! There's the trap.
It's a trap, all right. Shit.
Shit, trap for them! Bring it, bitches! Guard! At the barriers! Got one! Next!
Good to go.
Guards!
We're being pressed. I see him.
Down in front!
Woo!
Damn grubs are top!
There we go.
Let's get back up to that
More
door.
ammo is good.
Got an appointment.
And let me grab you. Turn the hunters into hunted. Yep, will do. Excuse me. You doing good, Bear? Getting in my shot like that? Although it did look pretty cool. Don't mind me as I'm button mashing. Gain entrance to the throne room, which is over here. Alrighty. Have fun storming the castle achievement unlocked.
You're the first humans to ever desecrate this palace with your presence.
I'm sorry, but
It's her.
like,
And I assure
aren't you human
you will
too?
most certainly be the last.
Like, you look more human than all the others.
Locust Queen?
I thought she was supposed to be brought up here.
If you're planning on flooding the hollow, then I guess we would be the last.
Yes. Though you destroyed the riftworm, there are still ways for us to sink Jacinto. You will perish along with the Lambert.
Not if we sink it first.
Scourge informed me of your plan to sink Jacinto before us. I'm afraid it won't work.
Don't be so sure.
Oh, but I am. We already have an army en route to Jacinto to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, this is...
Is it true? You're the son of Adam Phoenix.
What's it to you?
He spoke highly of you. It's a shame that you didn't follow his path.
The hell are you talking about?
It no longer matters. Scourge, destroy them.
Alright.
Bear, go! Go after the Queen!
You mad we killed your pet worm? Huh?
Take cover!
Dom, keep those tickers at bay!
Watch the stalactites! Watch our backs! Now, dodge! Hunt that bastard!
There we go. Alright, fine, button mashing. Is this just, you know, waiting for things to happen and then reacting?
Take cover!
Dom, I need some help with those tickers!
Reaver. Oh, that's a more powerful Reaver. If she's humanoid, what makes the others so considered butterfly? I think it's because they are humanoid originally and like some experimentation nonsense happened. That's my guess.
Armed and ready.
Shit! Where'd he go?
Oh, man.
Not important. We got bigger fish to fry right now. Alright, so we got this throne here, which does nothing for us. So... how did...
She escaped on a Reaver.
Yeah.
Forget the Queen. We need to find a way back to Jacinto. Well, there are 2 more Reavers back there.
Worth a shot. Move out!
What Reaver? Oh, okay, so...
Let's go. Bridge is connected. We need to get to those Reavers.
just doing the squat run. Let's go.
Keep moving. Keep moving!
This would have been a good sprinting sequence if I wasn't just met with like half of the screen being ass with Marcus Phoenix doing the squatting run. Like, look at that.
That's our ticket out of here. Get on those Reavers.
Marcus, I don't think they're gonna let us just climb on them.
You got a better idea? Let's ride, Delta.
Thank you for the random shirt.
Always wanted me a little horse. It's a flying one. It ain't cool, but let's just get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Looks like we ride them with no problem. Aim, zoom, fire to swap weapons in any direction.
Let's get to Jacinto, Delta.
I'm not sure I can control this thing. Then you better learn fast, man.
There we go.
Thanks for the assist, Delta. We thought we were done for.
You're welcome. Now get your asses out of here. This entire place is going down.
Oh, that's the Queen Reaver thing again.
Oh, horsey, get it up, go!
Yeah, horsey.
Move it. Shoot the thing in his mouth!
Shit, where'd he go?
Ah!
Yo, this ugly motherfucker don't know when to quit!
Give give it a little wiggle.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Whoa! Watch the rockets!
Made it.
Oh yeah, baby! This train runs on time!
Shit, that was close.
It was good.
Control, Delta here. We lost the Queen. Did you get the data from Jack?
Affirmative, Delta. Evacuations are underway, but we're currently under siege.
Roger that. The Queen is sending everything she's got to stop us from sinking Jacinto. We're gonna do it, we gotta do it now.
Understood. We're working as fast as we can. Are you able to assist?
We're close and on our way on you. Delta out.
But yeah, like, Jacinto is our last stronghold, and we're gonna go with sinking it, which still feels a bit of a weird option.
Here comes some more. Boom, baby. Got another.
Oh my god, this is a terrible ride.
Blocking my shots. Blocking my shots.
Come on. Hasn't there been historical moments where the place that was a safe haven for one side was then turned into a trap for an enemy where it was crumbled or something similar to occur to it? Not when it's not when it's like one of the last bastions, I would say. Like, normally there would, like, more often than not, last lines of defenses or last strongholds are never given up for traps.
Whoa! That crazy thing is playing chicken with him! Give it a rocket in the grill!
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, rocket away from this! Get it on!
There we go. Oh, hey, we killed, like, the mini-bad. Yes.
All right, Delta, tighten up formation.
Slowly but surely, we're making it. And the horsey rode in on.
Yeah, but the grub's already tearing up the place. We gotta get down there.
Yeah, they're probably thinking that we're the enemy while we're riding their grubs.
This is Delta. We're on the Reavers approaching Jacinto Command. Don't shoot. I repeat, do not shoot. This is Delta Squad coming in.
Horsey!
Call off the gun.
Sorry, Delta. Guns called off. Prepare for landing.
Yeah, Horsey dead at this point if it just took a chin. Or maybe it's still alive.
Watch out! That was too close.
It would have been real funny if that thing stayed.
Are here with me in control. Get here as soon as you can.
It would be really funny if, like, the Reaver was like, after one good joyride, they're like, yeah, we're gonna stick with you.
Nice work, Phoenix. Your squad did good.
Yeah.
Status.
In progress.
Ugh.
We've evacuated most of Jacinto, but we still need more time to evac gears from the Hollow.
Do we have a plan to sink Jacinto?
Almost. We're finalizing the logistics now.
When you first sent this information, Sergeant Phoenix, I thought you were insane.
I seem to have that effect on people.
But it looks like your father was right all this time.
Imagine that.
Uh-huh.
Locust troops have breached the courtyard.
We're on it.
Not without me, you aren't. If this is Jacinto's last stand, I'm not sitting it out.
Hell yeah. We get to have Brass with us. Please don't be a coward, Brass.
The base is under attack. All gears to your station. I repeat, all gears to your station. Red alert, gears. Red alert. Enemy forces approaching the south platform.
Contact! Damn it! They got a Raven!
Hell yeah.
3-6, moving to the south landing bay.
We've got some reports of some grapplers. Over.
Heads up, Reaver on the south platform. AR-36 here.
Alright, there we are.
Platform is clear. Moving to check east and north perimeter.
Thanks for the support, 3-6.
Move up!
Also, come on, hand tracking, just... Alright, I'm gonna put you here for now, because clearly the hand tracking does not like trying to deal with me holding a controller and what have you, so... We're gonna... Actually, let me see what happens if I put this here. I'm just gonna put you there for now. Oop, that's... Fuck it. Nah, never mind. Make this rodeo one to remember. Recon tells us what a sinkhole is... That a sinkhole has opened up in Jacinto. Never happened before. Great! We're sending troops ASAP to protect the perimeter of the hull, but we have no idea what size or type of force to expect. World's already gone to hell. Guess this is the handbasket part.
Chaos 4-9, are you there? Please respond.
4-9 is down, Control. 4-9 is down.
Copy that. gonna need you at the west entrance immediately. Take position along the south flank.
Copy, Control. We're on our way.
We're in trouble over here. Requesting assistance. Ah! Watch it! We've got grubs on the right!
Watch the cars! There's a ton of grubs down there!
What the fuck just said? Oh, you said boom. Damn it. Once again, doing a bad reload.
This is 3-2, heading to the west entrance now. Ready to see some fireworks?
Watch that Reaver!
Fox 1, Fox 1!
There we go.
Target down!
Was worried for a minute there. Oh, damn it, these things were here this whole time?
Copy that, Control. Moving to check it. We're hit. We've lost our lateral control.
Nope.
3-2 is down.
That was not intentional.
Last spotted heading towards the north entrance.
Multi-breed to get some flight capabilities like the Locust without expending metal and fuel on the copters.
Delta, the comm towers are under attack. We need your assistance immediately.
Let's get a move on, Delta. We lose those towers, all of our forces lose contact, and this foobar situation gets worse in a hurry.
Yep.
Listen to me. You're gonna make it.
You think that's another Carmine down there? Also, I feel like we did like a full-on loop.
Use the turret!
Keep holding them off! We can't lose the comm array!
Where's the other Reaver? Defend the comms array from one more Reaver. Cool. Where the hell is the next Reaver? Objective failed. Yeah, because I couldn't see him!
Use the turret!
There we go.
Broken through the main gates. Got it. We're on our way. Control, Comrade is secure.
All right.
The main gates.
Hi there, architect. Friend of a friend here. You wouldn't happen to have a particular type of cake that I could bribe you with? Ooh. Interesting. Nice. Het telling me that I need to guide the raid to someone named GrantZeebs. Favorite kind of cake?
All Ravens are now evacuating citizens or
Let me have a think.
Hey, Colonel. I guess we are the
like-
support, huh?
Partial to like the vanilla rainbow cake. They're making the cake themselves? Actually, yeah, better question. Are you making the cake? This is very important nonsense. Also, hang on a second. Hi. Give it a little wave with the arm tracking turned on again. Oh, of course, you'll make the cake. All right. Let's see. So, vanilla rainbow cake, classic chocolate, cookies and cream. Hey! You're not doing... I'm not doing half the job. Okay. Also, where in the world is... Oh, there's the rest of them. There we go. Organ grinder. Actually, let me see if I can get further down. That would be very beneficial. Talking about cakes. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Hi there, Lord Secret Spy. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing all right. All right. Come on. Ah, come on. Welcome to the stream, by the by, architect. Hopefully you're having a wonderful evening. I'm getting my ears bleeding as I try and like get through this Gears of War. Never played the Gears of War series before, so I've been like playing through the series because like this is kind of my bread and butter for streams. Is there's a lot of video games I haven't played before, despite, you know, growing up from like the Xbox, like the original Xbox era. You're talking about an actual cake that you bake in an oven. Yeah, so like the vanilla rainbow cake. So you know those cakes that's like, you know, just a classic vanilla or chocolate flavor, but then there's like different layers, like thin layers to them, and it does like a rainbow color. That's kind of cool. Cookies and cream. Those cakes that have like the little pieces of like a layer of like, you know, like a hard layer of chocolate, like Magnum, but it's like broken. So yeah, those kinds of cakes. So also, did I get a text message? No, I did not. Here we go. Storing information away for later. Look, I don't think about cakes that often, okay? I would have to I'd have to look at you know, oh, cakes that you haven't heard, because I'm trying, the last cake I probably had is normally being cakes that work has brought in that I've not put any thought into, and it's just oh, that's a slice of cake, and then I'm just cool, and then I just take the slice of cake without any thought whatsoever. What did Het say earlier? They said, I'm gonna make a cake for my own birthday next month. Chocolate and banana with a cartoon monkey made from different colored frosting. Ooh, frosting is kind of cool. I like hundreds and thousands and sprinkles. I like them a little bit. Oh, speaking of cakes. Okay, it's not really a cake, but there's some people that think that this is a dessert. I'm of the opinion that it isn't a dessert. How many of you know what fairy bread is? Now, I know that sounds derogatory for those of you that are outside Australia, but there is a thing called fairy bread here. And it's very much it's just white bread with butter and hundreds of thousands on it. Some people think that's a dessert. That is a dessert? Fight me? No, it's not a dessert. It's those three ingredients. That's not a dessert. If you try telling an American of oh, hey, here's a dessert where you just get a slice of bread, You do a slice of you do a slice of butter over top of the bread, and you dip hundreds and thousands on the bread. That's just a that's just like a snack. That's not a dessert. I've heard of monkey bread, not fairy bread. You're gonna lose against Zeebs. Hey! Het! Goddamn you, Het! How dare you! Darn you. Alright, here we go. Fight me.
Later. I know it's not a good idea to fight the girlfriend and over some topics. I'm not ready to die for, you know, fairy. Like, I'm not normally the winner of these kinds of arguments and what have you. God damn, I should have kept the super turret for this thing. That guy's gonna be painful to deal with. Oh, nope, that one's even worse. He's still alive. Darn it. Can I do a... Oh, here we go. Throw you. Throw you. Oh, shit. Help me, please. There we go. Oh boy, these guys are getting strong, aren't they? Oh boy. I'll start derailing your stream and start planning. Good night. Have a good night, Architect. This battle is Artemis and Grants. Hang on, what did I miss? Substitute the butter with Nutella and it's the ultimate fairy bread. Ooh. See, I don't have Nutella that often, so like I'm not too sure about that combination, but maybe. Stolen shirts all around. Wanted to fight you, so I did you the pleasure of preparing you. It's the same discussion as, is the ocean soup? No, fairy bread being a dessert isn't the same. This is the same sort of argument as like what's inside a Tim Tam. It's babe versus bro. Artemis is gonna be at it with the claws drawn. Oh yeah, no, she's gonna be drawing claws. I'm gonna be holding up fists and it's gonna be fruitless.
Control, main gate secure. We're heading back. Delta out.
Yes, we survived, although by the skin of my teeth. Can't comment any further on this, otherwise it would get kinky.
So what's our status?
We have a plan, but it's not gonna be easy.
We've identified an underground cavern near the Locust Sinkhole. We believe that a strategically placed light mass bomb can give Jacinto its final push.
What's the catch?
Due to cedar and nemesis infestation, we're unable to get a chopper down there to deliver the bomb. We need someone to clear the target area.
And by someone, you mean us. Baird? Cole? I want you two to assist with the light mass bomb. Dom?
If you're a good chef, you can probably make a good cake with butter, bread, and sprinkles as the base. There's gonna be other things, okay? Like, hang on a sec, let me just show you what fairy bread looks like, just so you have an understanding, Het. So, let me just look up fairy bread. So, hopefully it'll pop up. Here we go. This is fairy bread. This is fairy bread. This is it. Here's the thing, is that there's so many of these, like, images where it looks like that there isn't even butter involved with it. Cooking with Nana Ling. Making 3 fairly ordinary ingredients. Bread, butter, and hundreds and thousands. Yeah, okay, so it is bread, butter, and hundreds and thousands. Started in 1920s from the looks of it. Earliest reference to what we know as banana bread appears in the Tasmanian Newsletter in 1929. There are earlier references to fairy bread, but they seem to refer to a type of thin wafer-like bread rather than what we know and love as fairy bread. Whoever invented it deserves a big thanks for putting smiles on kids' faces. Yeah, cool, whatever. It's not a dessert. Probably a cake for poor families. That's the way I would consider it. Here we go. Moving on. Alright, so we're now heading into something called... Whoa! Jesus!
Get down!
God damn it.
Behind the box!
Alright, where's the... Oh, there you are.
Push him out of here to make it to the sinkhole.
Looks like there are 2 ways in. You want to split up?
Yeah, let's go for it!
Damn it. I'm not going to be able to get a good shot while I'm getting, you know, attacked by... while I can. There we are. Alright, now I should be able to get to you. There we go, pop your head.
Nice!
God damn you. I can barely see with this box on my head. Also, Dom, how are you? You are not helping one bit. Nope, wrong way. Can I come in through here? It is a dessert? Bonk? Stops me from getting burned. And break your head. Although I'm barely holding on to ammo, so this isn't great.
Looks dead to me.
God damn it, Dawn! Where the fuck were you in all this time? Alright, here we go.
Get down! Sandbags! Gonna have to flush him out of here to make it to the sinkhole.
Looks like there are 2 ways in. You want to split up?
Yeah, let's go for it!
Oh, of course there's a second sniper on me.
That's gonna hurt.
Damn it. I have to like aim and focus so much, and I can't do more than one shot before I have to reload, which is annoying, because he does one shot and tries to reload. There we go.
Behind the box! Little help there!
Dom, you have been fucking useless.
Did I get lost in the sea of pink again? Maybe you did. Maybe you did. Hi there, Zach. Welcome, welcome. You were saying, my goodness, those pectorals. Ah, nice, cool. Right now, I'm trying to survive this.
Let's get to the rear gate of the complex. That'll lead us to the sinkhole.
Oh, there's more than one, isn't there? You're heading... There we go. Ah, the pain. There. How is your evening going, Irenea, Zach?
Gotcha. Incoming! What's the matter? You hurt?
Damn it. And he has to do this slowly.
Looks dead to me.
Dom! Damn it! Did he, like, split up from me once I got in here? Alright, cool. So we don't have to fight through that part again.
Good to go.
Damn it. Just blast your head.
Oh, yeah!
Seems
can break your head in. It's 5 a.m. where I am. It doesn't really qualify to Azemi anymore. I didn't sleep the greatest because I have a HR follow-up phone call at 11:30. Best of luck with that HR phone. Best of luck with the HR phone call. Ugh! Where's my buddy? Why do you have to be like in an entirely different part of the building? Fucker. And now we're back here. I hate being this slow.
Good to go. Scratch one throat. Hardly seems fair. Take it! What the?
Damn it. There we go. Painful.
This'll do.
Hopefully I'm going the right way. Dom, get down here.
Revive me!
Never mind. Having the machine gun against a machine gun doesn't work. Code!
Yoshi with the 54-month tier 1 sub.
And I forgot
Dom,
to
heal me before I become a stretchy dog. Dom, heal me before I become a stretchy dog.
Thank you so much, Nudge Code, for the 54-month sub. I greatly appreciate it. Heal me before I become a stretchy god. Yeah, I need to double check like what the because I'm accidentally doubling up my alerts now with like subs and what have you. So I feel like I need to turn off like the text-to-speech thingy-majiggy in one of the systems. Here it is. So I think I need to turn off the resub message here. Save changes. Yeah, I think I need to change it here. So then that way, because I think SpeakerBot is now properly working and what have you. Thank you so much for the resub. I greatly appreciate it. You don't have to deal with the advertisement that's running off right now, and you get to utilize all of these cool emotes. Nope, not that all of these cool emotes. All of these cool emotes. I'm so sorry. I need to go to the bathroom. I am so sorry, Code. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll give you a shout out at the very least. Code the Yoshi. Go piss, girl. Bathroom break quickly. Ding. Dong. Bathroom break. Hold on. All right. I have done my bathroom break. Alrighty, and then I can stop the thingy-majiggy. Welcome. Hopefully the advertisements are over at this point.
Gotcha.
Okay. You.
Oh yeah.
There we are. Fuck it, let's grab you.
Who's next? Ticker!
I'm trying to move as quickly as I can right now with a turret. Or a handheld turret at the very least. Oh, there was no one there.
Revive me!
Dom, where the fuck are— oh my god, Dom! Can you try to be a fucking unit for once and just keep up with me? I'm holding a fucking Gatling gun. What are you doing all the way back there? Thank you for wasting my shot there.
That's got her. Nice.
God damn. You're arguing with 360 era AI? That shit is stupid as hell. It shouldn't be that stupid. God damn it. Where the fuck did you come from? Where the fuck is Dom?
Revive.
I swear to Christ, Dom. He's an idiot. Where the fuck are you, Dom? You're meant to be right behind me. There you are.
Sergeant. Let's do this. Gotcha. Who's next?
The AI in these games is lacking. Very much lacking, let me tell you. Very, very much lacking. Now, where the fuck is Dom? Dom, the fuck are you doing all the way up there? You wanna, like, get moving?
Next. At the sandbags.
I swear to Christ, Dom. Oh, it's because you're using a fucking sniper rifle, so you decide, oh, I'm just gonna stand in the back lines. I don't need you back there. Swap out of your sniper rifle, you dumb AI, and help me. You are a shitty shot. Stop trying to be a sniper rifle user. Go. Go.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
And sorry, how many have you shot, Dom? Hi there. Hi there, Blue. Welcome back. I have been dealing with the dumbest fucking AI this side. Finally, you're going down there. Stay down there.
Who's next?
Stay there. All right? Just stay the fuck there. You using cloud gaming on PC? Yeah, I'm using cloud gaming on PC. Because I don't have my own, like, PlayStation. I don't have my own Xbox to play this or the third one, so we're just doing cloud gaming. God damn yous. I'm sorry, Dom. Where the fuck did you go? Oh. Okay, Dom. Fuck you. Honestly, fuck you, Dom, for being such a pussy bitch. How dare you? You were down here with me, and you retreated like the idiot you are. Stop trying to be a sniper. You are not him. Shut up about being a sniper, Dom, and just get down here with a fucking turret.
Here comes some more! Oh yeah!
Yeah, I'm playing on Ultimate. Dom, stop being... Stop being a sniper rifle bitch. Get down here. You are not a sniper rifle user, alright? You have failed in every fucking step of the way. Oh, now comes the fun bit where you're still up here, aren't you? Yeah, you're still up here because you just decide to be a fucking moron. And now I have to stay up here because I will definitely need to get your help.
Behind the crate!
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Oh my god.
Horse.
Can I force you to swap weapons? Because you're...
Bloodhounds!
Gotcha.
Honestly, Dom, you're the worst. This is your worst showing. Like, you're not a sniper rifle user. Stop thinking you're going to be effective as a sniper rifle user. Oh, hey, Jack. Look, it's our robot Jack. He's being more useful than Dom right now. Come on. Come on, Dawn. Hurry the fuck up. Get rid of that fucking sniper rifle, by the by. Dom is like Fetch. Who's Fetch? I have no idea who that is.
Incoming!
What's the matter? You hurt? Next! God. Control, we're through the archives building.
Fetch as in the slang from Mean Girls. Oh.
Click from the sinkhole.
That is.
Keep you posted.
You're on ultimate difficulty with these games a lot of the time. No, I'm not on ultimate difficulty. I think Code was just asking if I was on, like, using the Xbox Ultimate Pass. I don't think I was on ultimate difficulty. Alright, proceed down Cooper Street. Which is down this way. Wait, weren't we here before?
I'll take the street. Cover me from the garage. At the barriers!
Never mind, he was absolutely terrible. Ugh. Does it give me the choice or nope? Alright, next time I pick the garage. Because maybe the training missions? Yeah, a little bit.
Take the street. I'll sweep the garage.
Yeah, you can deal with the street bullshit, Mr. One-Man Army over here. Nope. There we go. Once again, I'm dealing with the enemies on the streets for him. Honestly, the music is now aggravating. Go. The music's repetitiveness is kind of doing something to me as well.
Focused activity between you and the sinkhole. Fortunately, the Hammer of Dawn satellites are online.
Hell yeah.
Clear line of sight to the sky to use it.
Roger, Control. Delta out. Move back! Move back!
Damn it! I wasn't meant to be, like, jumping over the barrier, and I've just been, like, having to deal with that. Hopefully I don't have to go that far back through because of the fact that they've, like, you know, shown off the Hammer of Dawn weapon to me now. Yep, they put me here now. Oh my god, and they don't give me a new weapon.
Delta, we have reports of heavy locust activity between you and the sinkhole. Fortunately, the Hammer of Dawn satellites are online. You'll just need a clear line of sight to the sky to use it.
Roger, Control. Delta out.
Shit, the building's coming down!
Move back!
Alright, I don't know how effectively that worked, but something happened.
Charge!
I was hoping to chainsaw them, but okay. There we go. Alright, so we got the Hammer of Dawn. Alright, here we go, here we go.
There it is. The beginning of the end.
Never thought they'd get to Jacinto.
I guess it was just a matter of time. Let's use the cranes to get across.
Alright. I think they'd call payback for earlier. Alright.
Come on, Marcus. Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna take a bit of time, alright? Oh, am I meant to be?
Dom, get on the platform!
Okay, hopefully I'm doing this correctly. This feels like it was made to appeal to people who drink Monster and scream a lot. Yes, it very much is. This very much is for those kinds of people. This is meant for those peeps that like want the Warhammer 40k just because of the strong burly men and not on the understanding of the like whole war thing.
And get me across.
That'll work. Gotcha. Got one.
I'm just gonna trivialize this as best as I can. Nice shot of that ass. Yeah, they very much wanted to show Marcus's ass during the crane work.
Did enough for me. Rock and low.
Grab some ammo while I'm at it, because they're using our Lancers now. Where's the next Pappas? There you are.
Come on. Back in your hole.
God damn it, Dom, where the fuck were you? Useless.
Tickers!
Tickers!
Yeah, I figured.
Looks dead to me.
Oh, you were even right there, Dom, and you did nothing. Absolute fucking useless.
Gotcha.
Just melee each one real fast.
Nothing but bits.
where are you?
Brace yourself, we're going down!
Dom, you've been doing absolutely nothing. Have I actually finally bullied you out of this situation?
Marcus, what's your status?
We're about halfway down the sinkhole. We're still trying to figure out how to get to the bottom.
Copy that. We've almost finished loading the bomb onto the chopper. They should be headed in your direction within minutes.
Hopefully we'll be in place by the time they get here. I'll report in when we've made it to the tunnels below. Delta out. Dom, you alright?
All good, Marcus.
One for the journal.
Stranded Journal by Russell. Finally, we reached Jacinto. All that time it took getting here from Montevaldo. All the risk, but we finally made it. We're finally here. Can finally sleep at night without worrying about locusts or krill attacking in the night. Natalie is so happy. Makes me smile like I haven't in a long time. I'll be signing up for Lifeboat tomorrow, though they won't be processing my paperwork for a week or so. After this Landon assault, but after that, I'll be conscripted, and I'll be okay with that. I'm just happy we made it to Jacinto, and my family is finally safe. Guess there really is someone up there looking out for us. Yeah, and Jacinto means fucking nothing now.
Scratch one grub. Shit.
Go.
Oh yeah. Behind the boxes. Oh yeah.
There we go.
We need to
And
get to that
accidentally
building on the other
did that on the
side.
wrong timing.
Nice. Hey, Dom, let's cut these cables.
Oh, cut. Okay. So that's cable 1 and cable 2. I should have known it was cable cutting.
We got a way across.
Can't get a target!
Shit, not again! Shit!
Please don't tell me I died then. Nah, cool. We just got down to the sinkhole faster.
Let's get down there.
Behind the car!
Alrighty. Now the question is, does the Hammer of Dawn work here?
It's firing on the building! Grab hold of something!
Shit, not again!
We survived this.
Keep moving! This place isn't gonna last long! Come on, come on!
Lucky us. The elevator shaft worked. It's like an elevator through hell.
Unbelievable.
Oh, look, it's you again.
We need to get around to the side of it and take out the truck. I'm here. Keep your head down.
Ooh, do we get to pilot this fucker?
Let's get over there and finish it off.
Oh, hell yeah. It looks like we are gonna operate it.
We could ride it. Speed this whole operation up.
Reavers were one thing, but a Brumach?
They can ride them, so can we.
Yeah. Dom's not happy with the implications here, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. Brumac Rodeo.
Control, Delta here. We've hijacked a Brumach so that we can...
What?
We're riding a Brumach. We're gonna use it to clear the area faster.
Okay. Roger that, Delta. Keep us posted. Control out.
I've got the guns. You take the cannon.
dun, 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 dun.
Grinder!
We're doing good. Can you tone down on the trumpets? I've been hearing nothing but trumpets in this album so much now. Destroy the 3 columns to create an opening for the choppers. So that's the first one.
That's one. Hit the others.
That's 2. And 3. That's opened it up for the choppers, for us to start, you know, raining nonsense down.
Target area is clean and we have a clear path for the Ravens.
Roger that, Delta. Ravens are inbound. Control out.
Uh-oh.
Something's wrong, Marcus.
Yeah, we had them, like, standing in a motion.
Roger that, Baird. We're more than ready.
That's not good.
I'm still here, Marcus. We're coming in.
Oh, okay, cool. He was just in another helicopter. Okay, so it's absorbing the emulsion to get, like, a level up, it looks like.
Marcus, we're screwed. We lost the light mass bomb. So close. There's gotta be a way.
I'm guessing that thing is just juiced up right now. Yep, it's very much just juiced out of its fucking mind.
What the hell is going on with that thing?
Oh, that's weird. Horrors beyond our comprehension.
I don't know. Almost looks like it's going lambent. Lambent? As Is it exploding, Lambent?
Yeah, like the wretches, but way bigger.
Well, we have a new solution.
I think we've got our bomb.
Boom! Got it!
Hammer of Dawn is online.
Engaging! Ah! Up high!
Uh-oh.
Watch it!
There we go. Guerrilla tactics. You're not sleeping tonight? Yeah.
All KR units, evac to the surface!
Yep, sinkholes up the wazoo. Jacinto's about to fall. All of this to get rid of some bugs. Dun, da, da. Dun.
Control, can you read me? Anya, are you there?
Okay, so because we sunk Jacinto, we now have all this salt water like spewing out into here, which will obviously like do something to the emulsion. I don't know if the emulsion is gonna... Oh, there. Cool.
Your world can end in the blink of an eye. One event, one unexpected twist of fate, and suddenly the world as you knew it
Or you always had me with you. Oh.
forever.
Anya, can you read me? Anya, come in! Anya!
All that you held dear, all that you held close, is washed away into the sea of distant memory.
I'm sorry, Marcus.
Life is cruel. Of this, I have no doubt. But life continues.
Oh, cool. There's Anya. She just wasn't on control. She's just sitting in the helicopter. Do you think Marcus has a thing for her?
One can only hope that one leaves behind a lasting legacy. But so often, the legacies that we leave behind...
Rolly 1993 with the 9-month tier 1 sub.
Thank you so much. They've subscribed for 9 months, currently on a 9-month streak. I greatly appreciate the subscribing for the last 9 months. You don't have to deal with any advertisements, and you get to utilize all the cool emotes. Success is going from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm, while as Raw sent for Sandy, Tyler, and William, only your love and understanding make it possible. Nice. We did it! We got through the last of, Is there a way for us to skip this? Doesn't look like there is. Oop. B. Yay! We got through it, chat. It's all over. Oh, wait, I need to... I can't tab out of this thing. I have to, like, wait for the credits to roll. Scott Dawsett saying, putting on my best crunch face? That is not something you want people saying. You don't want like, oh my goodness, they probably did go through crunch for this game. Some of these messages are short and sweet, good for them. When do you see Dark Messiah? When someone gifts me Dark Messiah, because I don't have a copy of it. I don't know if it's available on GOG yet either, so it's like, it's gonna be difficult. Hug Muffin. Systems administration. We got 3 people who were IT technicians, but like at the senior level, it looks like. And then they have biz for the business. Dr. Michael Capps, Mark Rain, Jay. Special thanks to Melissa Batten. Our thoughts and prayers are with her and her family. Ooh, hopefully they're not having a terrible time. I gifts it to you in Steam. What? Once again, I can't tab out of this thing annoyingly enough. I just have to like wait for the credits to roll because there isn't a way for me to like skip this. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Now it's speeding up. Nah. There isn't any way to skip this. Hey, look at that! Contractors. John DiMaggio for Marcus Phoenix and Franklin. I don't know who Carlos Ferro is. Fred Tatasacchiori. Lester McNamara sounds familiar. Robin Atkin Downs. D. Baker. I know who D. Baker is. D. Baker is the voice of all the clones in Clone Troopers. Let's see. Nolan North. Of course, Nolan North can be found in here. Let's see. Cinematic writing by Nina Fricker. Music composed by Steve Jablinski. Steve Jablinski. You need to tone down on the trumpets when you're trying to, you know, come up with a diversity of your orchestra. But otherwise, thank you for doing the music. Have I had fun? Not near the end, I will be real with you. It is a narrative improvement over the first one, but like I don't know what to tell you about, you know, this. I don't know what to tell you about like, you know, it's not like a drastic improvement like it was from like, you know, Devil May Cry 2 to Devil May Cry 3. It is an improvement though. But we'll see how Gears of War 3 is. A part of me feels like I shouldn't get started on Gears of War 3 on Friday because I don't want to like get started on the video game for like one session and then go on break, because I'm going to be in Texas next week and I'm going to be in Texas for all of next week, and then most of the week after I'm also going to be like sort of on holiday because I don't fly out until Monday and I lose a day trying to travel back here. So like I don't want to exactly go for like a week and a half of not playing Gears of War 3. So I'd much rather, you know, start that one off fresh or something like that. There's like other games I could play on the blah 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 on the Friday night. So I might do, like, for example, I might do the Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, because I'm starting to get, like, a little bit of the hang for it, and I should do, like, some improvements with my hammer build, and I think the best way to do that is if I, you know, go through the progression and such like that a little bit more. Can I? Fuck it. You're about to return unsaved progress. Nah. You think this would give me an option to skip the credits at this point? Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I'm just doing some Googling right now. Gears of War 2 does not have an in-game option to skip the final credits, which typically run for a significant duration. Players must watch them to return to the main menu, though there is no extra scene after the final audio clip. Wait, final audio clip? What the? The credits lasting over 10 to 15 minutes. Goodness gracious. Time for some yapping. Yeah, hang on. Let me minimize this and then resume again. Sorry, because I have to because this game, when you decide to click away from this screen, the cloud service doesn't let you just click away from it. It pauses it for you, which I think is really annoying. Just let the game run in the background, please. But yeah, I don't have any strong, here's the thing is, I've gone through 2 games of Gears of War, and I don't really have strong feelings about it. It doesn't really invoke in me any kind of, I'm not having any, triumphant feel to it or anything. It honestly feels like a lesser, Halo in my brain a little bit. I don't know why, but, Halo feels way more, of a victory near the end or something like that than it does in, where we have here in Gears of War. I don't know, something about Gears of War just makes me feel like it's the military propaganda without, without the military appeal of Helldivers 2. Granted, Helldivers 2 is meant to be, a...
Is Adam Phoenix.
Yeah, Helldivers 2 is meant to be, a parody about the, fascist government and military might and such like that.
Can you hear me? What have you done?
Ooh, what a great audio clip. I say this sarcastically. Alright, so we got Tip of the Spear, which gave us newspaper clippings. And then... So we've unlocked the insane difficulty. Dizzy as a multiplayer character. Cantus, Ty Kelso, the Flame Grenader, Scourge. Anthony Carmine. Unlock the first of the Carmines by having any of the completed Act 1 achievements from Gears of War 1. A dish best served cold from Gears of War 1. Okay, so I can't... Which I already did those elsewhere. Defeated the Lambert. Completed all... campaign acts on casual, completed all campaign acts on normal, killed 30 enemies, successfully defend COG headquarters, found the Locust Queen, defeated Leviathan, found Maria, activated Jack as homing beacon in Nexus, torched enemies, performed a chainsaw multiple bypass, seen the sights with Betty, mastered the ways of the active reload, successfully defended a hospital, showed Carmine the ropes. Okay, we didn't collect any of those. Complete things in co-op. Win 10 chainsaw duels. Use a meat shield to save your life 10 times. Kill 30 enemies with a heavy mortar. Kill 10 enemies with a planted grenade. Melee 10 enemies with a boom shield. Melee 30 clickers. Or tickers. Kill any enemy with every weapon in the game. I'm missing one. Which was most likely this meleeing thing. Submit a spectator photo. Win 3 matches of Wingman. Play 1,999 rounds of multiplayer. Kill 10 enemies with a grenade while down but not out. A lot of achievements that I don't really care for. But yeah, a lot of them I don't really care for. But you know what? That's okay. We got through it. It's all over. Where's the music? Play the music. Yay. So yeah. Now the question is do I have a means of playing Gears of War 3? Because I'm pretty sure like Gears of War 2, 3 remains on like, you know, Xbox 360 and all that kind of nonsense. All right, let's have a look. Gears of War 3. Spectacular Conclusion, developed by Epic, exclusively for Xbox 360. Yep, play via the cloud. So you can play it via the cloud. Gears of War 4 looks like you can play on PC, which is when they do their new saga. Supports Xbox Anywhere. Yours to play on Xbox One and Windows 10 PC. That's cool. And then Gears 5 is Celebrate Campaign, Refresh Multiplayer, fully optimized for Xbox Series XS with all out wards ascending. Kat Diaz breaks away to uncover her connection to the enemy and discover the true danger to Sarah herself. Okay, weird. But yay. We got through that. And then there's a Gears 5 Game of the Year edition. Recharge multiplayer expansion as part of the Game of the Year edition. When was this Game of the Year edition released? Oh, 2020. Okay, so this is not that long ago. What's with the oh no looks, Goldie? It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, what I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably gonna call it here. Like, cause, you know, it was 3 hours back on the Monday for the stream, so we're probably gonna make it another So this makes it another 3 hours for tonight's stream. But then Friday we'll probably do like a proper 4-hour stream for Friday, because that one I'll probably make it playing blah, 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 blah. I'll probably make it a game of, you know, not Gears of War, but I'll probably do Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate for that one. So then that way, you know, it's a golden opportunity for, like, you know, getting through a little more progression with that one. We don't pick up a brand new game before I go off to Texas and what have you, because, you know, it's not worth, you know, starting a game and then not playing it for a week and a half. Hi there, Mizuki. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you had a wonderful evening. I just got done with Gears of War 2. So, yeah. So we're going to be calling it here, and I'm just going to have a look and see who is online and who we can go and raid. There is, let me just remove, there's a few people, but someone did a raid message. They did a redeem, actually, really early on. Someone did a redeem where we had to guide the raid to someone called Dragon Bees. Now, I don't know if they are still streaming, but let's see. Oh, it looks like they're still streaming. All right. We're going to go raid into Dragon Bees, and we're going to go with our long message, because it's the first time we're seeing them. Himbo Raid, show us your cutest guys, gals, and non-binary pals, or prepare to get swole. If you are not subscribed, that is okay. You're welcome to use whatever other kinds of emotes that you want. I will be using mine. And yeah, all I have to say is thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. I'm glad we were able to get through all of Gears of War 2 in this week. I will be picking up Gears of War 3 when I come back from Texas, because next week I'm going to be going off into Texas for Texas Furry Fiesta. If I see any of you there, be sure to give me a wave. Even I might be in fursuit or what have you. I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. And if I don't see you Friday night for a game of, like, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, then I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. Bye-bye.